And good afternoon, and welcome back inside Nobby's Ballpark. Is the Case Western Reserve University Spartans looking for the sweep of their season opening series against the Oswego State Lakers. After winning a doubleheader yesterday, first game by a score of 12-7, second game by a score of 7-1, and the Spartans back in action today. I just realized I left my papers all somewhere else, so I'm going to go grab those here. Oh, Carson, he found them. I'll take it all, Carson. Thank you. I'm all out of sorts today. I was so excited. Charlie Griffith let me pick out his warm-up song, and so slightly distracted here. I've never gotten a chance to do that before. But Charlie Griffith will be on the mound for the Spartans here today as they take on Oswego State. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Schwartz, bringing you play-by-play coverage of today's game between the Lakers and the Spartans as Case Western Reserve looking to get things going once again, get a 3-0 start to the year before they hit the road next weekend. And we'll do so with the sophomore lefty Charlie Griffith on the mound. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get you starting lineups for both of these teams, beginning with the batting order for Oswego State University. Emil Sander, the center fielder, will be leading things off, followed by Ricky Facita, the second baseman. Daniel Winchester playing third base and hitting third, and then Benjamin Silverman, the first baseman, in the cleanup spot. Dylan Rosenberg playing shortstop and hitting fifth. Brogan Olson, the designated hitter, in the sixth spot. Ryan Mayer playing left and batting seventh. Ben Rollison, the catcher, bats eighth. And Thomas Harrington playing right field and batting ninth. Defensively for the Spartans, a little bit of a different look out there today. Leadoff hitter is give you the defensive alignment here. Thank you. The first baseman will be Tyler Stilson, who's off to a great start to his season so far, both on the mound and at the plate yesterday. Second baseman is Jackson Knutson. Shortstop is Nate Arterburn, and the third baseman is Calvin Gelly. First pitch from Charlie Griffith is in there for a strike to Emil Sander, and it's an 0-1 count. Good start for the lefty here. In the outfield, left fielder is James O'Connor. Center fielder will be Josiah Harris, and the right fielder is Matt Trout. Doing the catching for this game is Colin Poole, the first year, as the breaking ball just misses, and it's a 1-1 count. And on the mound is the left-handed sophomore out of Columbus, Ohio, Charlie Griffith, who begins his sophomore season for the Spartans after a pretty successful freshman year last year. Good fastball in there for a called strike. And the count now at 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that ball hits softly over to second base there to get his Knutson for the first out. So a soft line out to start things. Up at the plate now is Ricky Facita. And that's in there for a called strike, 0-1. Oh, and 2 count now. Now the 0-2. Ground ball hit towards third and through for a base hit. So Facita with a 2-strike single through the left side.
Now batting for the Lakers, number 12, Daniel Winchester.
And that will bring up the 3-hitter, Daniel Winchester, who started the season off 2 for 8. First pitch on the way from Griffith. And that's in there for a called strike with the breaking pitch, and it's an 0-1 count. Spartans won both games yesterday. Here's the 0-1 instead of pickoff attempt down to first. Back in plenty of time is Facita. For Facita, that was his second hit of the season. He's now 2 for 5 on the year. Here's the 0-1. Another pickoff attempt. Good move there from Griffith. And timeout at the plate. I think that was one of those warnings again. The home plate umpire making sure that Griffith makes eye contact with the hitter. It's that establishing eye contact piece that you see in the majors now a lot, where pitchers will need to make sure everyone's settled before they throw the pitch. That one misses in the dirt, blocked nicely by the first-year catcher Poole, who keeps in front of him and holds the runner for Facita at first. One and one count at the plate. Here's the 1-1 from Griffith. And that's popped up, foul, and out of play. The count goes to 1-2. Good start here for Griffith, who's done a really good job of getting ahead in the count early on. He's done that against all three batters so far. Here's the 1-2. Another pickoff attempt, but diving back once again is Facita. Winchester at the plate, coming off of a great season last year. One of the better hitters in this lineup for the Lakers. And that ball hit in the air, deep towards left field, coming over is O'Connor. In front of the warning track, makes the catch for the out. And there are two quickly retired.
Now batting for the Lakers, number 26, Benjamin Silverman.
So 2 away now. Runner still at first base, and the batter will be Benjamin Silverman. Silverman 0 for 3 yesterday. Played in one of the 2 games in the early contest. Did score a run. Was hit by a pitch early on in that game. And there's a called strike to Silverman, 0-1 count. .86-mile-an-hour fastball at the top of the strike zone there from Griffith. Throw down to first, not in time. Here's the 0-1. And the runner goes, throw down to second in time, and they get the out. Nice throw again by Poole, who is impressed behind the plate early on here in his collegiate career, and he does a good job making the play down at second. So the Spartans, with a quick first inning behind Charlie Griffith, and now Case Western Reserve will come up to bat here in their half of the first inning. And let's go ahead without further ado and get you the batting order for the Spartans, who have mixed things up a little bit, trying to get some different guys out into the lineup today. After basically using the same 2 lineups yesterday, Coach Englander said he's got a lot of young guys that he wants to get in. He certainly did that again here today. Top of the order will look similar. O'Connor leading things off. He'll be followed by Eli Westrick, who's the designated hitter. And then Tyler Stilson, playing first base today, bats third. Matt Trout, the right fielder, in the cleanup spot. Colin Poole batting fifth and catching. Josiah Harris, the center fielder, bats sixth. Calvin Gelly, the third baseman, in the 7 spot. Jackson Knutson, the second baseman, a left-handed hitter, bats eighth. And Nate Arterburn, the shortstop, will be in the 9 hole. We'll go defensively now for Oswego State. Across the infield, it's Benjamin Silverman at first, Ricky Facita at second. The shortstop is Dylan Rosenberg, and at third, Daniel Winchester. In the outfield, Ryan Mayer, who was the starting pitcher in the second game of yesterday's doubleheader. He'll be out in left field today for this one, getting his first start in the field. Center fielder is Emil Sander. And in right field is Thomas Harrington. Doing the catching is Ben Rollison, who caught game 1 yesterday. And on the mound is the left-handed pitcher, Owen Hoyt. Hoyt, who wears number 19, is a junior lefty out of Endicott, New York, Union Endicott High School, 6 feet tall. And he will get things started here momentarily. Hoyt last year made 2 appearances, was 0-1, did not allow a run, an earned run I should say, did give up 3 unearned runs, surrendered 2 hits, struck out 2, walked 1, so limited career appearances for Hoyt. We'll see what he could do here today as the first pitch on the way, a breaking ball that misses down and out for ball 1, 1-0. At the plate is James O'Connor. O'Connor off to a great start to his career. 4 for 9 yesterday, the first-year player was. 4 runs scored, 2 doubles, 5 runs batted in. And that pitch taken low, and it's quickly 2-0 on O'Connor. So O'Connor impressed early on. Hoyt trying to settle in here, trying to pitch Oswego to a win here and try to salvage the final game of the series, but that one misses for ball 3, and it's quickly 3-0. And that misses inside, and it's a 4-pitch walk to start the game to O'Connor. And quickly, there is a runner on for the Spartans with Eli Westrick coming up. There's already action in the bullpen for Oswego, and it looks like that's Matt Carner, who we saw start in the outfield, and I think it's the DH in game 2, as Westrick takes that one outside, and that's now 5 straight balls to start the game for Hoyt. So Hoyt's going to have to figure things out here quickly. 5 pitches, 5 balls. Here's the 1-0 on the way to Westrick. And that misses inside 2-0. We've seen Westrick already be super aggressive even when he's ahead in the count 3-0. We saw him take a couple 3-0 hacks yesterday. This might be a situation, though, where he might really sit back and wait till he gets that first strike and see if Hoyt can throw a strike here. He struggled too early on. It's, again, 6 pitches, none of them in the strike zone so far. And a time, and that's going to be a pitch clock violation. And it's against the pitcher, so it's now 3-0. Well, when you're having trouble finding the strike zone and you don't want to give away extra balls, you could see also there Hoyt took an extra look down at that wristband as that one catches the strike zone. Was right at the top of the zone on that outside corner with the 83-mile-an-hour fastball. Might have tickled the black there. And so his first strike of the day makes it a 3-1 count. O'Connor looking runnerish at first base, and Hoyt sensing that throws down. O'Connor did not attempt to steal yesterday, but again looked to be active there at first base. So keep an eye on him here with the 3-1 count on Westrick at the plate. Got to be careful. You don't want to run your way out of an inning here with the pitcher struggling to find the zone, and that one misses ball 4. And so Westrick reaches on a walk, back-to-back walks to start the game, and that'll bring up a very dangerous hitter for the Spartans, and Tyler Stilson. And if you're Hoyt here, this is a world of trouble because the inclination that you have in this situation is just to try to get one over. This is not the batter to just try to get one over to. Stilson hitting at .750 on the year. He squares to bunt. No intention of Tyler Stilson bunting there. He's just trying to show something to keep Hoyt a bit off balance. But I promise you, Tyler Stilson will not be bunting, not after his day yesterday. 6 of 8 on the season so far. 2 doubles, a triple, 3 runs batted in. Add that to the 5 scoreless innings he threw in Game 2, and boy, is Tyler Stilson off to a great start to the year. Hoyt missed inside with that one, and that's now 10 of his first 11 pitches outside of the strike zone on a cold Cleveland morning, and that may be it here for Hoyt. Let's see, it looks like it might be the pitching coach, not the head coach for Oswego, so I don't think Hoyt's coming out yet. Hoyt kind of took a step towards the dugout as if he thinks he's coming out of this game. And he'll stay on. He's kind of walking around. Hoyt does not look comfortable out there right now. He's kind of been looking at his armband a bit, muttering to himself. You saw there when the pitching coach came out, he kind of turned his back, walked away a little bit. And, you know, this is a tough game, and pitching is such a mental game, and if you're not in the right headspace, tough to be successful. I think they charged the Spartans with a visit as well there as Matt Englander called over James O'Connor. And I wonder if maybe he's telling them, hey, just look active on the base path, see if you can get Hoyt's attention. The umpire signals up here to signal the batting change. You know, there needs to be some communication with the umpires here. They're trained to do that. There is nobody in any press box I've ever been in that actually tracks those visits. That's the umpires who track them. As that's down low, and it's another ball, 3-0. And Hoyt might be one more ball away from seeing his day come to an early end here. His 13th pitch of the game on the way, and misses outside, ball 4. So 3 straight walks on 13 total pitches for Hoyt. And we'll see if he gets one more batter with Matt Trout coming to the plate. Bases filled with Spartans in a scoreless game in the bottom of the first. O'Connor at third, Westrick at second, Stilson at first. Nobody out, the pitch from Hoyt. And that misses up and out with the breaking ball. Slider there that didn't break into the zone. And it's now 1-0 on Trout with no place to put the Spartans right fielder. Trout a .375 hitter so far this year. 3 for 8, a double, triple, 4 runs batted in. He's off to a good start. Swinging there and fouls back the 1-0 pitch. And the count goes to 1-1. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Trout went chasing one there. And he's behind in the count, 1-2. By the way, those were the first 2 swings of the day by the Spartans, if I'm not mistaken. So, all of a sudden, Hoyt ahead in the count here, 1-2, and we'll see if he can pull a little rabbit out of his hat. That's in the dirt, gets away. O'Connor thought about it, but didn't move up. Plays it safe. Probably the smart move there with nobody out and a pitcher struggling to find the strike zone. Again, the last thing you want in this situation is to run yourself out of an inning. Two count. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball. Strike 3. That might have been a changeup. Yeah, changeup instead. I think that might be one of the first times we've seen that changeup from him. But a strikeout by Trout, and that will leave the bases loaded now for the first-year player, Colin Poole. Poole hitting at .250, started the first game behind the plate yesterday and went 1 for 4 with a run scored. RBI opportunity for him here, and He swings and misses at another changeup, and you may be seeing now for Hoyt the pitch that he could kind of live off of a bit there with that changeup. He's thrown 2 good ones in a row now. And let's see if he keeps working with that. The 0-1. Yep, came that time. Looked like, I think, another change there. Yep. And got the swing and a miss. And, boy, the changeup looks sharp for him so far. It's got a little break to it, comes off the plate. The 0-2. And that ball hit in the air, center field shallow, dropping quickly, and it'll get in for a base hit. Spartans played it right on the base pass. Stilson went about halfway and was able to get to second as that one dropped in. Coming in to score on the play from third base is O'Connor, and Case Western Reserve is on the board here early. First career RBI for Colin Poole, and it puts Case Western Reserve on the board 1-0. Bases will stay loaded here. I think that was another one of those change-ups, and maybe went to the well one time too many, or at least with an 0-2 count, might have gone a little too much of the plate. That's one that you could probably really park down and out of the strike zone and try to get a swing and a miss on it. Instead, it hung a little bit, and that allowed Poole to just kind of throw the bat out at it, and he ended up dunking one into center field. I'll bring Josiah Harris to the plate, who takes ball 1-0. Hoyt now up to 22 pitches. And that's up high. Misses above the letters for ball 2, 2-0. Bases loaded, 1 away. And that's down low. 3-0. And Harris a chance now to add to the lead. We'll see if Harris gets a green light here, but my guess is he'll be taking all the way. Harris 3 for 8 yesterday, had a double, a run batted in, and a run scored. He got off to a nice start to the year. 3-0. And he is taking all the way there and takes the fastball down Main Street for strike 1. There's not a ton of difference in velocity between the fastball and the change from Hoyt, as that one chopped foul. Fastball's coming in about 82, 83. The changeup is about 79, but I think he's getting some pretty good movement on that changeup, and that's generated some of those swings and misses we've seen. Spartans leading 1-0. Bases loaded and 1 out here in the first. The pitch to Harris. Swung on, chopper down the third base line, but foul. We'll get another payoff pitch coming. Here's the pitch. Another one top foul. That was that changeup again. Nope, that was the fastball actually on that outside corner. We have not seen him throw that change yet to Harris, I don't believe. At least not in the last few pitches. He's stayed with that fastball to try to finish him off here. Here's the 3-2. In the dirt, ball 4, and that'll force across another run. An RBI walk drawn by Josiah Harris. And it's now 2-0 Spartans. Hoyt staying in this one for the moment, as Calvin Gelly a chance to blow this one open early. With the bases loaded, 1 away. Gelly yesterday 2 for 8 with 4 runs scored. Takes that pitch outside, ball 1. 30 pitches now this inning for Hoyt. Typically, you don't see teams let their pitchers throw more than 40 or so pitches in an inning. It's rare that people even get up that high, but Hoyt might be knocking on that door here. And again, I can't imagine if he can't find the strike zone here against Gelly that he's going to have much longer in this one. Again, unless Oswego is just committed to staying with him here through this first inning. Here's the 2-0. And Gelly taking and takes the fastball down the middle for a strike. It's 2-1. Here's the 2-1. And it hit him. Gelly hit by the pitch. That'll be an RBI hit by pitch. It'll bring in another run. It's 3-0 Spartans, and that's going to mark the end of the day for Hoyt. So a tough outing here for Owen Hoyt, who gets one out in the first, but struggles to find the strike zone. And the Spartans have a 3-0 lead after one. We'll get our first pitching change of the day. We'll be back with you in just a minute. New pitcher on the mound will be a familiar face if you watch the games yesterday. Matt Carner, who saw time in the outfield and a DH yesterday, will be stepping up to the mound here and find himself in a little bit of trouble. You never like going to the bullpen and bringing in someone who has to come in and try to put out a fire right away, but that's going to be the case here for Carner. The senior pitcher and outfielder out of Baldwinsville, New York, 6'3", C.W. Baker High School. For his career, I think this is actually his pitching debut, if I'm not mistaken. I don't see pitching stats for him here on his career numbers, so this may be his debut on the mound. Let's see if I look back last year. Maybe there's some. Oh no, sorry, he did pitch last year. I apologize. Let's see what he's done for his career pitching wise. So he takes a call. Delivers a strike there to Jackson Knutson, who's making his Spartan debut today. First career at bat for Knutson, one of this talented freshman class of hitters. Carner now ready on the hill. Quick delivery and in there for a called strike. 0-2. 87 mile an hour fastball. So Carner a little bit more velocity there than we were seeing from Hoyt. 3 appearances last year for Carner. He went 5 2/3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Ball 1 in the dirt. He pitched to a 3.18 ERA, went 1-0 on the year. Saw action, it looks like, later in the season, made appearances against Clarkson, RIT, and SUNY Canton. Up high, 2-2. Now the 2-2 offering. Fastball low and away, 3-2. Well, two things to think about, or a couple things to think about here. It's been a long inning here where I think now up over 40 pitches for the inning combined between the two pitchers. It's a long time, to be standing out in the field. As that ball hit up towards the middle, could be two. Flip step on second for one, on to first. And he holds the bag at first base. Terrific play at first by Benjamin Silverman, who did the splits there. And it somehow held the bag with his foot. Matt Englander not happy with that call, I don't think. He'll talk to the umpire in the field about it. But either way, that'll end the inning. The Spartans get 3 across, though, on just one hit, but take advantage of 4 walks and a hit batter. And we'll move along into the second in a 3-0 game. Silverman, Rosenberg, and Olsen due up when we come back. Long time on the bench for Charlie Griffith, who comes back on the mound after facing the minimum in the first. Again, it's a cold day outside today. It was cold yesterday, too, especially as the day went on. Started beautiful yesterday. Temperature was about 55 or so. By the time we all got out to the ballpark at about 9 o'clock, and then it just started getting colder and colder and windier. The wind was really whipping through yesterday. But today, the wind has died down. It's just colder out, and it's probably about 30-something degrees. What does my computer say? 33 degrees outside and overcast today. So, again, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge today to certainly grip the ball if you're a pitcher and to get warm if you're a pitcher after sitting a while on the bench, as Griffith did. So we'll see how he comes out here. Certainly, this is the kind of inning, if you're Griffith, that you want to come out and kind of set the tone. As Silverman back up after he was batting last inning and hitting while the runner was caught stealing. Here's the 0-1 offering from Griffith. Up high for a ball, 1-1. Griffith last year showed some real signs of being able to be a super successful pitcher at this level. It was early on in the year when he had a great outing against John Carroll. I believe it was like 7 shutout innings, something along those lines. Strike there to Silverman, and it's 1-2. By the way, Silverman, the left-handed hitter, 0 for 3 on the season. Made a nice play at first, by the way, to end the inning. 1-2 on the way. Curveball, and Silverman waited on it, yanked it down that line, but it goes foul. And the count stays at 1-2. But, you know, again, as you would expect from a first-year pitcher, consistency not quite there for Charlie, but we'll see now, again, entering that sophomore year, someone I know the team really likes, and see what he could do here. Ground ball, threw up the middle and through for a base hit. So Silverman behind in the count and facing a lefty, singles up the middle. Nice job by him. And they'll bring Dylan Rosenberg to the plate. Rosenberg The shortstop, 1 for 7 yesterday. His one hit a single. Runner is at first with nobody out as Oswego trying to put a dent in a Spartan lead. That one bunted nicely down the third baseline. Gelly has it, throws on the run, throws a little low, but dug out nicely by Stilson. Well, Tyler's done a little bit of everything this weekend, hasn't he? It'll go as a 5-3 sacrifice bunt, moving Silverman to second. But, boy, Stilson, a nice play there. And a nice play by Gelly, too, by the way, getting to that, charging, picking it up, and making the throw. He had some extra time there and certainly used it to his advantage. But back to Stilson. You know, Stilson's someone we're going to see a lot of at DH today, and some of that's just to protect him. And I think we're going to get a violation here on Charlie Griffith. Indeed we are, as Brogan Olson comes to the plate. Pitch clock violation there. That might be, again, that issue of him not making eye contact with the hitter. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball just misses outside. That was the curveball, I believe, and stayed a bit up high. Charlie features that fastball and then comes back with that nice big lefty curve. Whenever I think of a lefty curve, I always think of the line. I think it was Brian Dennehy in the movie Summer Catch who talked about how lefties have the advantage of having the world rotating in the right direction, and so that's why that curveball is extra devious when thrown correctly from a lefty. I don't know if there's any truth to that. Nor do I necessarily think that I should be pulling lessons from the movie Summer Catch, but regardless, it's a nice thing to throw out every once in a while. Runner at second and one away. Silverman the runner out there. Olson at the plate off to a nice start to his year. 4 for 6 at the plate with a double, an RBI, and a run scored. 2-2 on the way. And that stays up high. Count now full, 3-2. Charlie's done a good job filling up the strike zone so far. And they'll call another pitch clock violation there, and that's on Griffith, and it'll result in a walk. So, on what would have been a 3-2 pitch, a pitch clock violation called, and their runners now at first and second with one away. They'll bring Ryan Mayer to the plate. Mayer, a left-handed hitter. Takes that pitch in for a called strike, 0-1. We saw Mayer yesterday on the mound, started game 2 of the doubleheader, went 3 innings, gave up 5 runs on 4 hits. Hits that one back off the middle. Griffith knocks it down, picks it up. His play is at first, and wisely so, collects himself and makes a good throw. Both runners will move up, but the Spartans will happily trade that for an out here, with 2 outs in the inning now, and the 8-hitter Ben Rollison coming to the plate. So again, a good job there by Griffith, who now is on one knee and might have taken that one off his foot. I think he's just tying his shoe right now, but everyone's out to see him, so he's bouncing around a little. Charlie will be good. He's going to, I think, get to throw one warm-up pitch here just to make sure he can plant that foot. I believe this is going to be sophomore Saturday for the pitching staff for the Spartans today. Some combination of Charlie, Eric Colgrove, Oliver Miller, Jeff Radinsky in this game probably. Anton Sabo. But after yesterday, you know, the Spartans certainly used some arms out there, but really have plenty left in that bullpen for today. Griffith seems to be okay. He's going to get one more warm-up here. Yeah, he seems fine. He gives a little head shake.
bat, number 44, Ben Rollison.
So 2 away. See how Griffith handles things here with 2 in scoring position and 2 outs. A 3-0 Spartan lead. Rollison at the plate. 1 for 4 and swings and misses at the first pitch. A fastball high that Rollison couldn't catch up to, and it's a 0-1 count. Second and third, 2 away. Griffith trying to dance around trouble here. Another nice fastball in there for a called strike. I don't know what that ball did to Charlie, but those might be his 2 best fastballs of the day he's thrown. And now the world is his oyster here. He can throw any pitch he wants in this situation. Come back with a high fastball, can use that curveball, maybe put one in the dirt. There's the 0-2 on the way. And he came with another fastball, and swinging and missing there is Rollison for the final out of the inning. A 3-pitch strikeout, first of the game for Griffith. And that gets him out of some trouble here in the second. Oswego gets a hit, leaves 2 men stranded, and we'll move along into the bottom of the second inning. 9-1-2 for the Spartans due up. Arterburn, O'Connor, and Westrick when we return. Well, Nate Arterburn set to lead the inning off, and I think Matt Englander has no issues with a 9-hitter leading off the inning here. Again, another old baseball axiom is that you want to try to, if you're a pitcher, try to get that 8-hitter out to end an inning so you could start the inning with a 9-hitter. But Nate Arterburn is turned into someone who's not your typical 9-hitter. 3 for 8 yesterday, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs. He's become a really crafty hitter at the plate. Again, I said it before, Nate, just a baseball player out there right now. Behind the count here, 0-2 against Carner, who begins his second inning of work, and that one fouled back. Count stays at 0-2. Foul back again. Count stays at 0-2 again. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Spartans. Arterburn, O'Connor, and Westrick looking to add on to a 3-0 lead after the Spartans got 3 in the top of the first, despite getting just 1 hit in that inning. Took advantage of a handful of walks and a hit batter. And ball 1. That one just missed off the outside corner. It looked to be outside based on TrackMan. The recently recalibrated TrackMan, says Chief of Data Analytics Sam. Foul back. Count stays at 1-2. Sam and Ellery here today running the TrackMan system for us. Sam really wanted me to go over my NCAA statistical software spiel again, as that one is fouled back again by Arterburn. But I'll save you all the trouble of that, even if you missed it yesterday. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Good job here by Arterburn to make Karner work a little bit to him to lead this inning off. And again, you know, Arterburn, not your typical 9-hitter. 1-2. Down and away, 2-2. I got to believe if you're Arterburn, you're going to get a pitch to hit here. This is one of those situations where the pitcher has got to feel like he's already deep into this battle and he's kind of looking to get to the next hitter. And if you're not focused as a pitcher, it's real easy to make too good a pitch here. That was actually a pretty quality pitch there. It looked like the breaking ball slider that caught that down and in corner, and that was a really good pitch from Karner there. Not much Arterburn could do with that except foul it off, and he did, and a great foul by Arterburn there. 10th pitch of the at-bat coming up. 2-2 on the way from Karner. And it's a called strike 3. Might have been right on that upper inner portion of the plate. Just touched the black there on the corner at 87 miles an hour. And again, not much you could do with that pitch. And I'll tell you something, if Karner can work that inner portion of the plate with those two pitches, fastball and slider, that is dangerous. So back to the top of the order now, and James O'Connor, who draw a walk his first time up. Takes the first pitch there inside, 1-0. O'Connor came across to score the first run of the game for the Spartans. Already his 5th run scored this season. Not too bad when you're not even 3 full games into your collegiate career and you already have 5 runs on the board. Breaking ball that time. Stayed up and in, but called a strike, and it's 1-1. Big looping breaking ball there, fouled off, and it's 1-2. One-two pitch. And a fastball at the knees, called strike 3. 87 miles an hour and perfectly placed. And Karner looking very effective early on here. It's the 3rd strikeout from O'Connor this season so far. And now Eli Westrick will bat with the bases empty and 2 gone. Westrick walked and scored a run his first time up. 1 for 6 on the season with a double, 2 runs scored. Hitting here with the bases empty, trying to get on base with Stilson hitting behind him. Called strike to Westrick, and it's 0-1. Eli Westrick, the graduate student. Played at Worcester for his undergraduate career. A little bit more inside that time and taken by Westrick for a ball, 1-1. One and one count, 2 away, bases empty. Westrick at the plate. Karner looking for a 1-2-3 inning. He struck out the first 2 batters he's faced. Misses inside there. So far, so good for Karner, who came into the game with the bases loaded and 1 out in the bottom of the first, induced a 6-6-3 double play, and then it struck out 2 batters so far this inning. Fouled off, 2-2. Two-two pitch on the way. And Westrick fouls another one off. So if nothing else for the Spartans, if Westrick were to, end the inning here, you've got to feel good if you're the Spartans about making Karner at least work a little this inning with a good at-bat here from Westrick, a good at-bat earlier in the inning from Arterburn. 2-2 on the way. And tap towards first base. Silverman there. It takes a really awkward hop, but he fielded it well, and a good job by Carner to get over to first and cover in time to get the out. And that will end the inning. So the Spartans go down 1-2-3, but lead 3-0 after 2 here at Nobby's Ballpark. To the top of the third we go. Harrington, Sander, and Facita due up when we return. Three to nothing, Spartans leading. Charlie Griffith has looked good through the first 2. He's allowed 2 hits, walked 1. Begins the third against the 9-1-2 hitters, and his first pitch fastball misses inside, 1-0. That one looked like it might have slipped out of his hand a little bit. But again, to be expected today, it's going to be a difficult day to pitch out there. So far, though, Charlie's maneuvered well through some cold weather. Foul back by Harrington, and the count goes to 1-1. Harrington played in both games yesterday. Started the first game, went 1 for 6 total on the day. His one hit a single. He also scored a run. That one catches for a strike, and it's 1-2. Change up? Change up. One, 2 on the way. That ball muscled into shallow center, and it's down for a base hit. So Harrington behind in the count 1-2. Gets a base hit to center field. That's the second hit off of Griffith today, where he's been ahead in the count. Came with the fastball there, and I wonder if that's maybe an adjustment he makes as this game goes on, maybe going more to the breaking pitches when he gets ahead in the count. But trying to find that pitch to finish off some of these hitters. So back to the top of the order now, and the batter will be Emil Sander. Takes a call for a strike, 0-1. Sander lined out softly to second base his first time up. The 0-1. Throw down to first, not in time. Ground ball, third base. Gelly backhanded throw, gets into right field. And so that will be an error on the throw from Gelly. Harrington moves up a bag. It'll go as a fielder's choice for Sander. And, boy, that is particularly costly there, as that one grounded back to the pitcher on the bunt. Griffith throws, it's high, but Stilson holds the bag. And a good job there by Tyler Stilson to prevent another error there. It'll go as a sacrifice bunt for Facita. I believe his second sacrifice. No, he had a single earlier. Excuse me. So 1 away, 2 in scoring position. Sander to second, Harrington to third. Stilson listed at 6'3", and he had to use every inch of that to get to that ball. Called strike, and the count goes to 0-1. See if Griffith can bear down here. He's got a tough hitter at the plate in Daniel Winchester, who's 2 for 9 to start the year. Coming off a season where he hit .350. There's that big curve, and it misses down low for a ball, 1-1. Base here for Winchester would make this a very different looking game early on. Good fastball, though, from Griffith, and it goes to a 1-2 count. Winchester flew out to left field in his first at bat. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3. Winchester went chasing that one as a fastball well off the plate. Or, pardon me, changeup well off the plate. And that is a huge second out there. Good job by Griffith to get that strikeout. And now with 2 gone, the batter will be the left-handed hitter Benjamin Silverman, who's had himself a nice day. Silverman has made a couple good defensive plays in the infield. He also has a base hit his only time up, but he has been impressive. Takes a called strike there, and it's 0-1. Swing and a miss now, 0-2. And again, Griffith, as Colin Poole will trot out to have a conversation. There's a lot of options here for Griffith. He could come back with that changeup if he wanted to. You throw the breaking pitch here. He's got some options now ahead in the count. He seems to be a bit more comfortable throwing that fastball to get the strikeout. But let's see what he does. 0-2. 2 away, 2 in scoring position. And that was the fastball on the outside corner, fouled off by Silverman. Griffith 45 pitches into his day. That one popped up, foul territory, and Stilson can't quite get to it. And so we'll get another 0-2 coming up. Again, that was the fastball up and in. It looks like Griffith is trying to keep that fastball off the plate. Oh, 0-2. Popped up center field. Harris should be able to get to this one. Settles underneath it, fighting a overcast sky, but puts it away for the out. Might be one of those days where it's tough to pick that baseball out with all those clouds up there, but no problem for Harris, the newly minted starting center fielder for the Spartans, who puts it away. And once again, Griffith escapes a situation with 2 in scoring position to end the third. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left on. We will move along into the bottom of the third inning. The Spartans leading 3-0. Heart of the order, Stilson, Trout, and Poole when we return.
Up to bat, number 10, Tyler Stilson.
Welcome back once again. Tyler Stilson on the mound facing Matt Carner, whose first pitch is grounded hard toward short. Fielded cleanly there by Rosenberg. The throw is in the dirt, but again, another nice play for Silverman. And one pitch, one out here in the third as Stilson retired for just the third time in 3 games this weekend. By the way, that was a fairly hard hit ball. We don't have the reading of 102 off the bat, 102 ground ball off the bat. So yeah, that wasn't exactly an easy roller to short there either from Stilson. Everything he's hitting now, he is just locked in. Trout sends one over the head of the first baseman, Silverman, and into right field for a base hit. So Trout, who struck out in his first at bat, here gets a single into right, and he's on base with one away. And let's see if the Spartans put Trout in motion here. As Colin Poole will step up to the plate. Poole 1 for 1, an RBI single back in the first inning. Got the Spartans on the board. One away, runner at first. And he takes a fastball for a called strike. This will be Poole's first at bat against Carner, who came in relief with one out in the first. Carner has done a good job keeping this game close after it looked early on like it could get out of hand quickly. The 0-1 runner goes. The pitch fouled off. 0-2. Well, the jump Trout had there, as Poole matures a little bit, that might be one he chooses to take instead and let the runner try to get to second. The 0-2 on the way. Popped up. First base side. Silverman there. Calls everyone off and makes the catch. And there are 2 retired. So Poole retired on the pop out, and that will bring up the center fielder, Josiah Harris, who walked and drove in a run with a bases loaded walk in the first. Spartans are leading 3-0. We're in the bottom of the third, 2 away. Trout the runner at first. Harris hitting at .375 on the young season. Trout runs. Harris takes it. Throw goes down to second, and sliding in safely is Trout. The throw took a hop right before it got to second base, and that was the difference between Trout being safe and out. I think a good throw there gets him, but with the ball taking that hop, the second baseman had to lift his glove up a little bit, and that allowed Trout to get in underneath it. So he's in scoring position now for Harris, who's ahead in the count 1-0. Another RBI opportunity for Josiah Harris, who takes that down low for a ball, and it's 2-0. By the way, that Trout single was the first base runner allowed by Carner in this one. He's now in his second full inning of work. Here's his 2-0. Down and away, 3-0. Calvin Gelly is out on deck. Should Harris reach here? (3-0). Outside, ball 4. So 2 on now with 2 away, and Calvin Gelly will be the batter. Gelly was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in the first inning. Picked up his first RBI of the season and pushed the Spartans' lead to 3-0, which is where we stand now. Almost got hit again there as that one missed well up and in. It's a 1-0 count. Fastball in the outside corner. Nice pitch there. And it's 1-1. In the air, center field pretty deep, but going over and making the catch is Sander. And that will end the inning. The Spartans leave 2 men stranded after a single and a walk. But Trout and Harris left out there on the base paths. No runs hit, no errors, 2 left on. We'll move to the 4th. 3-0, Spartans leading. Rosenberg, Olsen, and Mayer due up when we return. Dylan Rosenberg, the batter, set to lead things off. 5, 6, and 7 in the order for Oswego State as we move along into the 4th inning. The Spartans with a 3-0 lead. Excuse me. Watching too many sporting events here at once. I've got our men's tennis team results popping up. They're losing 2-1, by the way, currently to Claremont Mudscripts. And we're going to get another violation on Griffith here. And again, I think it's that. I'm not sure if it's that he's not making eye contact or that the clock is expiring. Matt Englander coming out to ask for a little clarification as well. That's, I think, the 3rd or 4th violation. I think there was a warning and 3 violations so far against Griffith. I'm not sure we saw any of those called yesterday, but we've already seen a handful here today. Foul back by Rosenberg, and it's 1-1. Rosenberg grounded out to, grounded out to third base. I think it was a sacrifice bunt, actually, his first time up. Waits the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Griffith has done a great job today working inside the strike zone. 40 pitches, 50 of them have been for strikes. And frankly, those numbers might be a little jaded because I think at least 3 or 4 of those have been, of those that have, come into our system as pitches were actually balls that were awarded as part of the pitch clock violations against him. So I think he's roughly right now about 48 pitches deep and 40 strikes. Two on the way. Pop, foul, and out of play. This has been, though, the I think you're going to look for the next step in the Charlie Griffith evolution as a pitcher, and it's going to be finding that pitch that allows him to, kind of get those batters out in these situations. He's generating a lot of foul balls when he gets ahead in the count 2-2, or 0-2 when he gets those 2 strike counts. Not quite finishing guys off in that situation. At least not easily. Misses high there with the changeup. And it's a full count 3-2 on Rosenberg. And a called strike 3. Maybe slightly above the letters, but Rosenberg took it. One of those pitches that's too good to take with 2 strikes. And that will be the first out of the inning. 3rd strikeout of the game for Griffith. And there's 1 gone here in the first. Brogan Olson will now be the batter. Reached base again in the 2nd inning. He walked. Goes fishing for one there and comes up empty, and it's 0-1. Change up there for Griffith, who's, again, generated some good swings and misses with that pitch. And I think that's what you want to see him throw with 2 strikes. A pitch like that. Change up low, unhittable, but it just enticing enough to generate some swings and misses on. Oh, 0-2. Griffith ahead in the count. Let's see if he can take care of Olson here. I think he's coming change up down the middle here. What was that? Change up? Change up. Not down the middle, but change up. I imagine he's going to pair that here with that letter high fastball. Looked like the breaking ball swung on and missed that, and Poole will complete the throw down to first to notch the out. 2-3 on the putout, but the strikeout from Griffith. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the 4th. And with 2 gone now, base is empty, and that will bring up Mayer to the plate. Ryan Mayer, who, with an excuse me swing, grounds one to third. Gelly with it, rears back, and rifles one over to first base. And a very quick inning for Charlie Griffith, who sits the side down in order for the first time today. We'll move along into the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 Spartans when we come back. Back here at Nobby's Ballpark, the Spartans with a 3-0 lead, looking to pull off a series sweep to begin their season. Left-handed hitting second baseman Jackson Knutson up at the plate. Knutson takes a called strike to start the at-bat. Carner's still on the mound, and boy, he has done excellent work out there today. In the dirt, 1-1. On a day when you kind of thought from the onset that, boy, Oswego State was going to be out of this one early, Carner has come in and shut down the Spartans. Been very effective. Called strike on the inside corner, and it's 1-2. One-two count. And he hits that one in the air, shallow right, dropping quickly, but over to get it is the right fielder, Thomas Harrington. Well, footing out there is a bit treacherous right now in that outfield. And it's not that it necessarily has rained a lot lately. It's just that the outfield in general is I wouldn't call it soggy. It's firm footing, but it's like maybe a little squishier than normal because of all the snow that was sitting on the natural grass outfield for really about a month. Finally melted off about a week ago, but hasn't fully dried out as that one's fouled back by Nate Arterburn. You could see out there Harrington stumbled a bit on his initial step, but recovered nicely and was able to lunge forward to make that catch. So one away here, and now Nate Arterburn, who struck out looking in his first at-bat on a pitch up and in. The 0-1. Ground ball hit hard towards short. Fielded cleanly there by Rosenberg. His throw to Silverman at first in time for the second out of the inning. What was that off the bat? 93. Another hard hit grounder to short. So two retired. Carner looking for another quick inning here. Top of the order, though, for the Spartans with James O'Connor coming up. O'Connor 0 for 1, drew a walk and struck out looking in his two plate appearances. The strikeout came against Carner, who delivers the first pitch strike 0-1. .82 and on that outside corner. Now the 0-1. And that's in the dirt for a ball, 1-1. I was going to ask what that was too, Ellery. I was trying to figure that one out, what that pitch was, the 82-mile-an-hour one. It looked like it had a little run to it almost, came back over the plate. Maybe a little two-seamer? We're calling it a cutter? Yeah. Cutter. Let's go with cutter. Down low, and that'll be ball 2, 2-1. You know, for years I just made up whatever the pitch was up here, and now I get called out if I say the wrong thing, so. Slider there for a called strike, and it's 2-2. Carner shakes off a sign from the catcher. Now comes set. 2-2 the count. 2 away. Bases empty here in the fourth. Fastball. O'Connor lifts it out to right field. Fairly deep, tracing Harrington back, but has a beat on it, but can't quite get to it. He slowed up a bit as he was approaching it. O'Connor will head towards third and come in standing up with a triple. Base hit there, triple. One that maybe you could certainly make the argument that the right fielder Harrington could have gotten to, but you could see, and there's not much wind out there, but that ball seemed to carry fairly well to the outfield. And at first, well, it looked like it was going to be a fairly routine fly ball out there for Harrington. Just kept going, and Harrington couldn't quite catch up to it. Third hit of the game for the Spartans. It's a runner at third with 2 away for Eli Westrick. It's already the 4th extra base hit in 3 games for O'Connor. And if I'm not mistaken, that's his second opposite field extra base hit. I think he had a double towards right center field yesterday. So O'Connor showing some signs that he could be a real impact player for this team. The 0-1 down and out, and it's 1-1. 3-0 Spartans, and an opportunity here to add on even with 2 outs. Westrick at the plate. He's 0 for 1, a ground out to first base and a walk. He scored a run as well, fouls that one back, and it's 1-2. Little bit of a slow start for Westrick at the plate. You would think he's going to turn it around at some point, and different players kind of get the season started sometimes in different ways. Sometimes it takes a week or two to really get into the swing of things, no pun intended. But how many times do we see, over the years, there's a player who is capable of being an impact bat at the plate, and you go through the first week or two of the season, and they're hitting in the hundreds or low 200s, and all of a sudden they get down to Lexington and catch fire. That ball hit hard to third. Winchester with it, throws across his body just a step ahead of Westrick to record the final of the inning. So a 2-out triple by O'Connor, but he's left stranded at third. And that will keep the score at 3-0 as we move into the fifth. 8-9-1 due up for Oswego. It's Rollison, Harrington, and Sander when we return. Welcome back to Nobby's Ballpark. Charlie Griffith begins his fifth inning of work, working with a 3-0 lead that he's held since the top of the first. First pitch, pops sky high. Let's see if the infield holds it here in foul territory. Poole there, reaches out, but can't quite make the catch. No error there. It'll just go as a foul ball. That's probably one of those that, and again, you've got a first-year catcher, although Poole has certainly shown himself to be very capable defensively behind the plate thus far. And a relatively inexperienced first baseman in Stilson. And that's probably one that you want Stilson to take control over. That one misses down low for a ball, and it's 1-1. Because I think Stilson, in the end, might have had the better path to that. He's coming towards that ball. Might have had a little bit of an easier time than that. Poole, who kind of had to reach over his back and try to make that catch. Up and out, ball 2, 2-1. Inning number 5 here at Nobby's Ballpark. Top of the fifth. Spartans have led 3-0 since the bottom of the first. Charlie Griffith has looked sharp today. Two. In there, a called strike 3. Changeup caught that inside corner. That was a fastball, like I said. Thank you, Sam. Fastball caught the inside corner, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Boy, Charlie Griffith, 5 strikeouts through 4 1/3. He's hit just 64 pitches, and if he give the Spartans this kind of effort out of the 3 spot in the rotation, This could be a really dangerous pitching staff. So that was Ben Rollison who struck out. Now Thomas Harrington, the batter. Harrington singled in his first at-bat of the day against Griffith back in the third inning. That one on the outside corner, 1-1 the count. Curveball there, I believe. Yeah. I'll get one of these right eventually. The 1-1. Another curve in there for a strike. Thank you, Sam. I really like that curve from Griffith. I think that's just a dangerous pitch he has. Ground ball hit towards short. Arterburn circles, throws. It throws a little high. And safe at first will be Harrington. Give it an error for now. I may have to rethink that one down the road. That was not an easy play to make. So 1 away now. Runner at first, and that one's down low for ball 1, 1-0. Three to nothing Spartans. Runner goes. The pitch swung on, grounded hard, but foul down the line. And the count now at 1-1. 70 pitches deep is Charlie Griffith. I believe we'll see Eric Colgrove is the next pitcher up. Yeah, that's an error on Arterburn, who has played some really good defense, but he got there in time. If he makes a good throw, that's an out there. As I look at the replay on my screen. Not an easy play, but I think Nate will tell you that's one he probably should have made. Hard hit ball back up the middle. Dropped. Nice job by Knutson, who throws to first and gets the double play. I don't know that that was intentional, but it certainly looked that way. And let me tell you, for a first-year player making his collegiate debut, boy, that is about as smart a play as you can make there. So great job there by Knutson. Harrington retired, 4-4-3, the double play. We'll move along into the bottom of the fifth. 3-0, Spartans leading. Well, we hotly debated here in the press box whether that was intentional or unintentional by Jackson Knutson to drop that ball. And I think what we settled on was whether intentional or unintentional, like impressive that he knew how to play that perfectly, whether or not he dropped it intentionally or not. It worked out well in his favor, and a good job to, at the very least, keep your composure in a split-second decision for Knutson. Tyler Stilson leading off the fifth for the Spartans. Stilson was retired for just the third time in 3 games his last time up when he grounded out on a 105-mile-an-hour ball to short. This went in the air. Sky high center field. Should be playable out there. And is for the center fielder Sander, who puts it away for the first out. So Stilson retired for the second time today. And that will bring Matt Trout to the plate. Trout is single in his last at bat. 1 for 2 today, hitting at 400 on the season. I think Matt Trout is really going to be one of those X-Factor type players for this team this year. As Carner delivers the pitch, breaking ball in the dirt, 1-0. If Trout can mature into an upper echelon hitter at this level, this is going to be a very dangerous lineup. And again, so far so good. I have been so impressed with the growth in Trout's plate discipline. He still has some free swinger tendencies, but his knowledge and his awareness of the strike zone since he first got on campus has grown so much. Trout's got some long levers. He's got a naturally long swing, and so there's always going to be some holes there. But all the more reason that, to be aware of the strike zone and how to manipulate it and how to work it. We saw signs of that really from him last year at the beginning of the season. That really carried over. And now this year, being able to put that all to fruition as an everyday starter. Swing and a miss there. He took the cut 3-0. Man, just after I go about talking about what great plate discipline he has and takes a cut at the high fastball, 3-0. Nah, I'm kidding. That's a good swing there by Trout, who tried to take advantage of what he thought was going to be a get-me-over pitch. It was a fastball, letter high, maybe a shade above the letters, but took a good cut there. 3-1. Hard hit up the middle, base hit for Trout. 99 off the bat. He's got his second hit of the game. He's got 2 of the 4 Spartan hits in this one now. Now Colin Poole has one of those other 4, will be the batter. Poole 1 for 2 today, singled and drove in a run in the first, popped out to first base, his last time up. And that's going to be it here for Carner, I believe, is we'll get a call to the bullpen for Oswego State. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
Now pitching for the Lakers, number 14, number 16, Matthew Kroll. Up to bat, number 9, Colin Poole.
Running on the first pitch is Trout, and he's got his second stolen base of the day. Strike at the plate, but Trout in scoring position now with one away and a new pitcher on the mound is number 16, Matthew Kroll, the right-hander. That one down low, and it's 1-1 on Poole, who had a base hit and an RBI in his first at bat of the day. Get you some numbers on Kroll here in a second. Making his season debut. Kroll, a junior, local product for the Lakers out of Oswego, New York, Oswego High School. 6'4" righty. Poole inside outs that one deep down the line and right, and that is a foul ball. Not by much, if at all. So Poole just missing an extra base hit there. Good job, boy. The opposite field approach for the Spartans so far this season is something that we did not see a lot of last year. But there's been, and Poole has done a really good job of this, just a very intentional, going with what the pitcher is giving you. This has been a very different looking Spartan team at the plate, but they've been very impressive. 2-2 the count, 3-2 the count, and that ball again hit to the opposite field, deep towards the gap in right center field, and it's over the head of the right fielder. That will score the runner Trout easily from second, even though he held up to play it safe. And Colin Poole with his second RBI of the game, his first extra base hit of the season. He cranked one deep into the opposite field gap. And the Spartans lead now up to 4-0. Well, that run will count against Carner. I believe this is the career debut for Kroll. He's listed as a junior, but no previous stats and no info on his bio. The mystery man. Pitch taken down low by Harris, and it's 1-0. Let's see if he pitched last year. Harris pops this one up, foul territory. Silverman over and cannot make the catch. Again, no drop foul error there, but certainly one he will tell you he probably should have had. Do a little research here, see if we can figure out Matthew Kroll a little bit. Called strike, 1-2. No, not much information out there on Kroll. Here he is. Found his prep baseball bio, but it's got his name listed as Matt Kroll with 1 L. Well, the runner picked off here, and the tag applied, and in time for the out. So that will be the second out of the inning. So two-way now, bases empty for Harris with the 1-2 pitch on the way. And he swings and fouls that one back. Count stays at 1-2.
It's 3.
1-2 is 3. Thank you, Sari. My watch goes off at weird times, and I don't know why. Swing and a miss there by Harris. Tag applied, and that'll end the inning. The Spartans had a run, though, and an RBI double to right center field by Colin Poole. And Case Western Reserve with a 4-0 lead as we move to the 6th. We'll be right back. Eric Colgrove set to get things going here for the Spartans as he takes over for Charlie Griffith. We'll get you Charlie's final line here in just a moment. Colgrove, the sophomore righty, gets the first strike against Facita, but then plunks him with pitch number 2, and he'll be on at first with nobody out. Colgrove, in his second year with the Spartans, he is just a tough pitcher to figure out if you're a hitter because his arm angle just kind of comes from way out there. You'll see when he delivers here. The Los Altos, California product. Los Altos High School, 6'2", 165 pounds. Ball 1 to Winchester. 4-0 Spartans. In the dirt, 2-0. Last year, Colgrove, 10 appearances, 5 starts, a 1-1 record with an 8.06 ERA. And again, I've said this about some other folks yesterday too, but the numbers don't belie how well Eric pitched for the Spartans last year. Had some really nice appearances for the team, but also had a few where he struggled, and that kind of shifted his numbers to look worse than probably he actually pitched. Called strike with the fastball there at 84 miles an hour, and the count goes to 3-1. Colgrove threw 25 2/3 innings last season, struck out 22, walked 13. Opponents at 272 against him. Down and in, ball 4. So a hit batter and a walk, and there's 2 on with nobody out.
Up to bat, number 26, Benjamin Silverman.
Winchester draws the walk. Facita moves up to second base, and now Benjamin Silverman will be the batter. 1 for 2 in the game with a single and a fly out to center. Second straight game that the Spartans have gotten 5 shutout innings from their starting pitcher. Yesterday it was Tyler Stilson. As the first pitch fastball misses up and out, 1-0. Today it was Charlie Griffith. Griffith, 5 innings, 71 pitches, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Really nicely pitched game for Charlie. Poole scoops that one out of the dirt, and that will bring Matt Englander out from the dugout with Colgrove struggling early on here to find the strike zone. Started off good enough, threw a first pitch strike, but since then, 7 of his last 8 pitches have been out of the strike zone. And so Englander will come out, have a quick talk here to try to settle down Colgrove. Spartans will get someone moving out in that bullpen. I think that's Jack Millman, who's taking off his shirt. Oh, no, that's Jeff Radinsky. So Radinsky will begin to throw in case needed here. The umpires once again signal the number of mound meetings that have happened, as if someone up here is recording them, which nobody is. I'm telling you, like, I've seen this for a long time, and umpires will always do that since they've limited the number of mound visits in a game. But it's just not something anyone up here has to or does record. Throw back to second, and they get him for the out. Colin Poole once again. We'll have to see what that was called at the plate. It was a strike, so it's 2-1. But, boy, we've said this earlier in the game talking about the Spartans that first inning when Hoyt was struggling to throw strikes, and that you don't want to run yourselves out of an inning against a pitcher that is trying to still find the strike zone. That pitch is in the dirt, and it's 3-1. But in that case, Facita at second base, really a faux pas there, getting picked off by the catcher, Poole, who, boy, oh boy, he looks very good behind the plate so far. Called strike there, and the count goes full 3-2. We'll see if Winchester, who was active on the base pass last year, is running here 3-2 and 1 away to try to stay out of the double play. Got to imagine he'll be in motion here. We'll see if Colgrove pays attention to it. He's not. Runner goes, pitch is outside regardless, and it's ball 4. So 2 away now. And that will bring up Dylan Rosenberg with 2 on and 1 away. Rosenberg 0 for 2 in this one, 1 for 8 to start his season. Pitch misses up high, and it's ball 1. Four to nothing. Spartans leading. Top of the 6th inning. The Spartans scored 3 in the bottom of the first, added 1 last inning in the 5th. And hit by the pitch is Rosenberg after squaring the bunt, and that will load him up. So that brings the potential game-tying run to the plate in the form of Brogan Olson, who's been one of the better hitters so far this weekend for Oswego, batting at .571. So far in this one, he's walked and struck out swinging. And it looks like we'll actually get a pinch hitter here. So it's not Brogan Olson. This will be number 23, Andrew Dempsey, who we saw catch yesterday. The lefty coming in to pinch hit here. Dempsey played in the second game yesterday and went, I believe, 0 for 4 at the plate. 0 for 3, excuse me. But can make up for it here with one big swing. 1 out, bases are loaded. First pitch on the way from Colgrove. Inside, ball 1. If you're Colgrove, you have to lock in here. Remember that you're one ground ball away from getting a potential inning-ending double play. The 1-0. And squaring to bunt with no intention of bunting there was Dempsey. He pulls it back, and the count goes to 1-1. Dempsey clearly taking all the way there. Showing bunt, again, with no intention of bunting, just trying to keep Colgrove on his toes. Down low with that pitch. 83 miles an hour below the knees, and it's 2-1. Oliver Miller now up and throwing in the bullpen as well. Radinsky trying to see if he's ready or if he's just stopped throwing. Again below the knees. It's 3-1 with no place to put Dempsey. And this is a dangerous situation for Colgrove with a potential game-tying run at the plate, but you need to throw a strike here. No good answers here except to make your pitch in this situation. 3-1. Chopper, third base, over the head of Gelly and into left field for a base hit. Two runners will score. Going to third is Rosenberg. Stopping at first base is Dempsey. It's a 2 RBI single, and that halves the Spartan lead. It's now 4-2. So first and third now. Potential game-tying runs are on the base pass, and that's going to be it for Colgrove here, who will leave with 2 runners still on his record. It will be Jeff Radinsky who checks into the game. We'll be back in just a minute. 4-2 the score when we return.
Number 12, Jeff Radinsky.
Well, Jeff Radinsky inserting himself into the fire here with runners at first and third and 1 away in the inning. Radinsky making his season debut, the sophomore. Had a nice year last year out of the bullpen for the Spartans. 5'9", 155 pounds. The sophomore out of Port Washington, New York, Paul D. Schreiber High School. And, you know, despite the fact that Radinsky is not particularly large of stature, he generates really good velocity from the left-hand side of the mound. Usually can get it right up around 90. And so we'll see what he could do here. He's, again, inserting himself into, or being inserted into a situation where there's little room for error in a 2-run game and the potential game-tying runs on the base paths. Last season, 13 appearances out of the bullpen for Radinsky, 2-0 with a 5.94 ERA. Through 16 2/3 innings, he gave up 12 hits, 11 runs, all of them earned. He struck out 24, walked just 8, and opponents hit only 203 against him.
Up to bat, number 14, Ryan.
So Radinsky will try to work through some trouble here. Again, a ground ball away from getting out of this inning. But he's got men on the corners in a 2-run game, and stepping up to the plate is a left-handed hitter, Ryan Mayer. Mayer 0 for 2 in this one. First pitch, fastball in their first strike at 83. Now the 0-1. That one down and away at 86 for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Oliver Miller throwing in the bullpen as well. He is one of the more used arms and more successful arms out of the bullpen as a freshman last year for the Spartans. 1-1 on the way. Pops foul, and it's 1-2. This game very much up in the air right now. It's a 2-run ball game, and it could get a lot closer pretty quick here. 1-2, 1 out. Big pitch upcoming here for Radinsky. And just off that outside corner, 87 with the fastball as the count goes to 2-2. Two on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Mayer strikes out swinging as Radinsky gets a big out. 2 gone in the inning now. And that will bring up the catcher, Ben Rollison.
Up to bat, number 44, Ben Rollison.
Rollison today 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. But again, could atone for some of that here with 1 big swing. Radinsky comes set on the hill, working from the stretch with 2 on. First pitch misses down low, 1-0. Really, for the first time since the early part of the first game yesterday, some nerves for the Spartans right now in a close game. That one down low, and it's 2-0. Got to be careful here if you're Radinsky. You certainly don't want to walk the bases loaded, but you also don't want to serve up a pitch that Rollison can make good contact on. Even though you're behind in the count, so you got to make good pitches still. That one fouled back, and that was a good pitch, a high fastball. Popped up high and foul, out of play, 2-2. So 2-2, 2 away. Tying runs on the base paths, potential go-ahead run at the plate in the form of Rollison, who's trying to get another run across here after 2 have already scored in the top of the 6th for Oswego. Runner goes, Radinsky steps off. He throws to second, and the tag is applied, and that will end the inning. Well, it looked like there was something that was put on there, but let's just say it wasn't executed according to plan. Dempsey retired, 2-6 on the caught stealing. 1-6 on the caught stealing, and we'll move along into the bottom of the 6th as the Spartans maintain a 2-run lead. 4-2 the score. Bottom of the order, Gelly, Knutson, and Arterburn due up when we return. Welcome back once again, 4-2 after Jeff Radinsky able to keep it at a 2-run game. The Spartans back up at the plate. Calvin Gelly leading things off, takes the first pitch outside, ball 1 from Krull, who begins his second inning. Bottom of the order for the Spartans, Gelly, Knutson, and Arterburn as they try to get something set up for the top of the order. 2-0 now the count. Gelly reached base and drove in a run with a hit-by pitch back in the first with the bases loaded. His last time up flew out to center field. Cranks that one foul, and it's 2-1. Hit hard and into right field, a base hit for Gelly. So Gelly with the base hit. And we'll get a pinch hitter here. And that will be Elijah Sledge, who we saw yesterday a couple times. Got a base hit, a couple nice at-bats, actually. And my guess is Sledge will come and play left field, and we'll see O'Connor move from left to second, replacing Knutson. So Sledge the pinch hitter. Hitting at .500, 1 for 2. Gelly the runner at first. We'll see if he's moving on the pitch here with the first pitch to Sledge, who bunts it nicely down the third base side. Throw to first is high, and it pulls him off the bag. That'll be an infield bunt single for Sledge. Gelly up to second on that one. 7th hit of the game for the Spartans. So 2 on now, nobody out, and Nate Arterburn will be the batter, and potentially another bunt situation here, although watch out for the Butcher Boy play in this situation, especially with the corners pinched in. Arterburn hitting at .300 so far this year. The wheel play on. Look at this. And that'll count as a disengagement there. Well, you don't see the wheel run very much anymore, but essentially what it does is when you know someone is going to bunt, your middle infielders cover the bases, and then this is the wheel. And Arterburn pulls it back, and it's a wild pitch. And that'll move runners up to second and third. Well, sometimes machinations on the infield can do that. It'll distract your pitcher a little bit. There's a lot of motion going on. And Krull just uncorked a very wild pitch there. And so that'll take the bunt off now for Arterburn. But again, you saw Arterburn wasn't bunting there. That was the Butcher Boy play. Now the infield pulled in, not against the bunt, but to try to prevent a run from scoring. Keep it at a 2-run game as it's now 2-0 on Arterburn. Well, Krull, no easy answers here. You certainly have an opportunity, as the pitching coach coming out to talk to him. You certainly have an opportunity if you're Arterburn here, or if you're Krull, I should say, to pitch around Arterburn. But the problem is he's your 9-hitter. Granted, he's not your average 9-hitter. He's certainly capable at the plate. But that would load the bases for a red-hot James O'Connor hitting behind him. And so, really, in this situation, if you're Oswego, you just have to find a way to work your way through this inning. And frankly, you're sort of at a point where, again, you have your infield pulled in. You're going to come to home plate with it, but again, there's just not a lot of easy answers here right now if you're Krull on the mound. I think you need to make pitchers pitches in this situation. Don't necessarily worry about walking him, but you have to make good quality pitches, and that's what's been missing so far in this at-bat. It's been 2 balls, and neither of which has been a competitive pitch. there's one thing, and when you talk about competitive pitches, it's not just in the strike zone, but it's close enough to make the hitter think about it. That one down low, and it's now 3-0, and first base is open here. We'll see if Arterburn gets the green light. I guarantee you he has it if he wants it. It's just a question if he takes a rip at this one. With the infield pulled in, why not? 3-0 pitch on the way. And that was right down the middle for a called strike, 3-1. He took a little bit off of that pitch just to park it in there, but Arterburn was taking all the way. Three and one the count now. Infield still pulled in. And Arterburn hits that in the air, deep towards right center field. Should be deep enough to get the run in. Catch is made in center by Sander. His throw will go to third. They'll concede the runner home. And moving up to third without a relay throw is Sledge. Coming in to score on the play is Gelly. The Spartans add on a run on the sacrifice fly from Arterburn. And it's now 5-2 as Case Western Reserve gets at least one of the runs back from last inning. And now James O'Connor to the plate looking for a quality at bat here to drive in a second run. O'Connor, a triple his last time up. He's 1 for 2 in the game and hitting a .455 on the season. First pitch on the way. Misses up high, 1-0. Outside, 2-0. Called strike, and it's 2-1. Inside, 3-1. Again, in theory, a walk here wouldn't be the end of the world if you're Krull. But it does put 2 on with Westrick waiting out on deck and Stilson to follow. Here's the 3-1 offering. And that one ripped into left field. It's a base hit for O'Connor. In to score easily is Sledge from third. O'Connor with another RBI, his 6th of the year already to lead all Spartan players. And that one was ripped. 100 miles an hour off the bat for the first-year player. Boy, O'Connor, so far so good. And that is going to be it for Krull. Second mound visit of the inning, so Oswego State will make the pitching change. We'll be back in just a minute. Spartans now leading 6-2 the score when we return.
Now pitching for the Lakers, number 6, Jordan Goebel.
Eli Westrick up to the plate with one away, and the Spartans now leading 6-2. O'Connor, the runner at first, and the new pitcher on the mound is number 6, Jordan Goebel. Get you some numbers here on Goebel in a second. First, he throws down to first. Season debut for Goebel, the senior out of Oneonta, New York, Oneonta High School, 5'8". Pitch is low, runner goes, the throw goes into center field. O'Connor will stay at second, and boy, he had a couple chances there. The slide cost him a chance to maybe move up a bag, although it was bobbled a little in center field and might have had an opportunity anyway. Goebel last year pitched 8 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, walked 3, struck out 5. Took a lot off that one. Change up there that's parked for a strike, and it's 1-1. Slider, fastball. Thank you. Trying to evaluate what pitch that was here. He pitched a 2.55 ERA for the year. Called strike, and it's 1-2. He's got that sidearm motion, doesn't he? One of those guys. Trying to see, 8:45 is what we got the tilt at, so I'm trying to, how do I get this on the clock here? This would be 9, right? Spin, yeah, so he's got that real sidearm delivery. 2-2 the count. You saw a lot of pitchers coming out of high school a number of years ago that didn't necessarily have the velocity to pitch at the collegiate level, alter their deliveries, and that was a big movement a couple years ago, sort of following the success of someone like a Chad Bradford in the majors as that ball's in the dirt, and the count goes full 3-2. A lot of those guys altered their delivery to become either sidearm or submariner type of pitchers. That arm angle just really hard to deal with, and velocity less of an impact there. Full count now, 3-2 on Westrick with a runner in scoring position. Hits that in the air deep towards right field, but playable. Harrington there makes the catch. O'Connor thinks about tagging, but won't advance with 2 outs now in the inning. As Westrick flies out, and Tyler Stilson will now come to the plate. Stilson in a rare cold stretch. He's been retired in each of his last 2 at-bats, says John Schwartz, tongue-in-cheek. Tyler, 6 for 8 yesterday at the plate. Again, threw 5 shutout innings as well. Struck out 10 batters. All Tyler's done today is walk and scored a run. That one's off the plate for a ball, 1-0. Goebel's got to be careful here. This might be a really favorable matchup for Stilson. Nice pitch there. Catches that outside corner. It's 1-1. This is the type of pitcher that I always really appreciate getting that center field view of, because that pitch looks so funky. That I think that's a 2-seam fastball. It's got a little run to it in the dirt. But you see the movement that the sidearm guys get on that pitch, and especially the break that comes on it. Two and one now on Stilson. I'm telling you, this is a favorable matchup for Tyler if he gets a pitch to hit. 3-1 outside. Boy. Runner at second is O'Connor. 2 away in the inning. Hit hard and threw for a base hit. O'Connor will score easily. Stilson, big turn at first, but he'll stop there. Another RBI for Tyler Stilson. And another base hit for Stilson. That's his 7th in 3 games. And again, another example, and this time Stilson, of the Spartans just making an effort to not try to pull everything, just go with the pitches. Not try to hit everything to the fence, just going with pitches. And that has been so impressive for this team because it is such a deviation of the strategy that this team had last year. And again, different players, different makeup. But the amount of times we have seen the Spartans just poke a ball the opposite field. And that was a little bit more than a poke, 101 off the bat from Stilson. So, but he went with the pitch, and he hit it hard the opposite way, and that's not what we saw this team do last year when they were also very successful. This has been fun to watch this year. It really has been through 3 games. So 7-2, the Spartans now leading. 3 runs across in the inning. Trying to add on further is Trout fouls that one off and falls behind 0-1. Trout a single and a run scored his last time up. He's stolen 2 bases in the game as well. The 0-1 now on the way instead of throw down to first. Seven runs, 9 hits, 2 errors today for the Spartans. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Oswego State. That's Case Western Reserve trying to pull off the sweep here. We're in the bottom of the 6th. That ball's in the dirt. 1-1 the count. I would think we're going to see Radinsky back out there for another inning. In the top of the 7th, and probably Oliver Miller to close this one out. Popped up as Trout reached for that one. Foul territory and unable to make the catch as the catcher. Ironic enough. Again, we have seen, particularly behind home plate, catchers really struggling to make those plays so far, battling the wind on those high pop-ups in foul territory. It's 1-2 now on Trout, and Coach Englander comes over to have a conversation with him here. And, you know, I think the gist of the conversation, I could certainly be wrong. I'm not reading lips here or anything. When you see someone who comes out and they're topping out at 70-some-odd miles an hour with their fastball, the tendency as a hitter is to overswing. Think about that scene from, if you've ever seen the movie Rookie of the Year, when he throws the floater and the big guy, I think it was a Mets player actually, not a real Mets player, but he kind of takes that big swing, tongue sticking out of his mouth, and just comes up empty on the floater pitch. Apologies if you've never seen the movie. It's a classic. Go see it. Ian Michael Thomas, I think. Anyway. Regardless, like, that's sort of the effect here, is that there's a tendency as a hitter to just rear back and take a big cut at a slower pitch. And usually that's where these types of pitchers will get you. By the way, fun fact, I think it's the mother from Rookie of the Year, right? Who is the Pete Crow Armstrong's mother, or is that the other movie? Little Big League. There we go. Thank you, Ellery. Getting confused now with all my baseball movies. Let's see, I've worked in Little Big League, Rookie of the Year. What's the other one I got earlier? Summer Catch. 3 baseball movies and not one Kevin Costner reference yet, so I think I'm doing okay. 2-2 the count. Two and two away. Runner first is Stilson. See if he's moving now with 2 strikes in the count here. 2-2 count. Ground ball to third, and it gets through. So an error there, allowing Trout to reach. Stilson to second on the play. The inning continues. And that'll bring Colin Poole to the plate. Poole 2 for 3 today, and he's looked sharp. 2 RBIs, including an opposite field double deep into the gap his last time up. Stilson takes the lead from second. Trout from first. That pitch down and out for a ball, 1-0. Well, the Spartans will face a test next weekend against Washington and Jefferson. 2 games in Washington, PA against them. And that is usually a very quality team. They'll also face Scranton during that stretch. That one's fouled back. 1-1. After that, the Spartans will return home. A midweek game here scheduled at Nobby's Ballpark on March 5th, I believe. Whatever that Wednesday is. A week from Wednesday. Let's see. I got to pull up my calendar here. March 4th. And then down to Lexington, South Carolina for the annual Spartan Southern Classic. 2-1 the count on Poole at the plate, facing Goebel for the first time. Poole awaits the 2-1 from Goebel. And swings and grounds that to third. Winchester has it. This time goes the short way to second to end the frame. I think that's what resulted in the error last time. He kind of turned his body looking to go to second base last time. And sometimes when you do that as a third baseman, you could kind of, you get the better angle to throw and you set yourself up. But you also put yourself in a position where it's a little harder to field that ball head on. So either way, we'll move along now. We'll head to the 7th inning, top of the 7th. The Spartans had 3 in the 6th. They now lead 7-2. We'll be back in just a minute. Spartans back up at the plate. Some defensive changes for Case Western Reserve as predicted. O'Connor moves from left to second. Sledge stays in the game to play left. Jeff Radinsky still on the mound and misses up and out to start the inning against Rollison, who was batting last inning when I think maybe a miscommunication on a play call with runners on the corners, 2 outs in the inning. Runner from first attempted to steal second, maybe getting a run down, allow the run to score, and the runner at third kind of just froze there, and a chance at the time to maybe make it a 1-run game for Oswego State went awry, and the Spartans added 3 more in the bottom of the inning. It's now 7-2, a 5-run Spartan lead. So Radinsky working with a 5-run lead now as his 1-1 pitch on the way. And And did he go around? No. Rollinson holds on that one. It's now a 2-1 count. So Jeff Radinsky, who came into the game with the tying runs on the base pass, the potential go-ahead run at the plate, does a good job working around trouble, keeping it a 2-run game, and the Spartans helped add on a few in the bottom of the inning. That ball in the air, deep towards center field. Harris there, right in front of the warning track, makes the catch. And there's one gone. Josiah Harris this weekend has played a really good defensive center field. For a guy who has not played that position much, if at all, in his career as a Spartan, remember, he started really as a second baseman. But he has looked like a natural out there. He's got that glide to his step out there in center field that the good center fielders have. It's that effortless movement towards the baseball. Think of Carlos Beltran having that ability. Maybe Luis Robert Jr., who knows? Says the optimistic Met fan. First pitch down low, 1-0. But those really good center fielders, they don't run to a ball. They glide to it. And Harris has that natural gliding ability. Fouled off there, and it's 1-1. One on the way. Swing and a miss, 1-2. One and one count. Radensky sets and delivers. Popped up. Foul territory. Long run over for Stilson, and he makes that one. Nice job there by Tyler Stilson to put that away for the second out of the inning. And Radinsky, who has now sat down 3 straight. We'll go back to the top of the order, and Emil Sander will be the hitter. Sander hitting at .333 on the young season. 0 for 3 in this one. Grounded into a 4-4-3 double play his last time up. That was that good play by Knudsen. Whether intentional or unintentional, to turn a soft line drive to second into a 4-4-3 double play.
I found this on the web.
Come on. My watch keeps yelling at me, and I don't know why. Pipe down, Siri. Got a game to call here. 0-1. Hard liner, foul down the third base side. 99 off the bat there from Sander. Chance for a quick inning here for Radinsky. Ahead in the count, 0-2 on the leadoff hitter, Sander. 2 away, bases empty, 7-2 Spartans leading. Radinsky, middle of the rubber, rocks and delivers. Chopper hit towards third, fielded on a hop. Gelly throws to first, throw is in the dirt, gets away. And safe at first on the throwing error by Gelly is Sander. And so the inning will continue here. Third error of the game for the Spartans after a very clean defensive day yesterday. Spartans in the 2 games yesterday committed 1 combined error. Today, 3 already, but those haven't come back to bite the team, at least not yet. Again, all things considered, sort of about as good a defensive weekend as you can expect for either of these 2 teams. As the wild pitch allows Sander to move up. Facita at the plate. But again, you expect teams to not look sharp in these early season games, especially with the winter that has hit the Northeast and the Midwest, I guess, too. Again, it has been absolutely, until last week, just a miserable winter here. As of about a week and a half ago, there was about 1.5 feet of snow on the ground still. That one misses outside, 2-0. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 2-1. Runner at second. That's Sander. Swing and a miss again. What's that pitch, guys? Fastball. That's the fastball? Yeah, he's getting some swings and misses here, elevating that, and it's about 85 miles an hour. Pop foul. That time, Facita made contact. Facita 1 for 2 in this game. 2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Dialed up an 88-mile-an-hour fastball up and in, and Facita didn't stand a chance of that one. As Radinsky gets the strikeout, and the Spartans will head into the bottom of the 7th with a 7-2 lead. Oswego leaves a runner stranded at second base. We'll be back. Harris, Gelly, and Sledge due up when we return. Goebel out for another inning of work. He'll start things off against Josiah Harris in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch taken for a ball, 1-0. Harris, a very nice start to the year, offensively and defensively. 2-0 the count at the plate on Josiah. 2 walks today for Josiah. Has an RBI, 0 for 1 overall. 2-0 pitch. Hits that one hard into left field and down for a base hit. 87 off the bat for Harris. Spartans have done a really good job just staying locked in against the side armor Goebel. As Calvin Gelly will be the hitter now. Gelly hitting at 300 on the year. 3 for 10 to start his season. 1 for 2 in this one. Hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in the first, resulting in an RBI. Flew out to center field and then singled and scored a run last inning. Facing Goebel for the first time. Runner goes, and safe at second is Harris. And that's something you'll see a lot with sidearm pitchers is that, A, it's usually tough for them to hold runners on. And then on top of that, even when they can hold runners on, usually the delivery tends to be a little slower to the plate because that delivery is a little less compact. And so, especially with a righty sidearm pitcher, typically that's an opportunity for the other team to steal some bases. Just a little bit more to unwind, if you will, if you're a pitcher who comes from the side than if you're direct over the top or even three-quarters. Big jump off the base for Harris as that one singled into center field for a base hit. Harris will hold at third. Gelly with his second hit of the game. And the Spartans a chance to add on further here as Elijah Sledge comes to the plate. Sledge, another base hit his last time up. The lefty now hitting at .667, 2 for 3, so again, limited appearances. But boy, Sledge has looked very good early on. Looks like a guy maybe who could make an impact on this team as another first-year player. We've already seen O'Connor and Poole and Knutson. Maybe Sledge, one of those guys, too. Takes that one inside, and it's ball one. Throw down to first, not in time. So the Spartans trying to add on here, get a little extra security, and come away with the opening weekend sweep. Sledge at the plate takes that down and in. 2-0. Ground ball, first base side, pulled by Sledge, but foul, and the count goes to 2-1. Sledge, the first-year player, 5'9", 165 pounds, of Tacoma, Washington, where he attended Franklin Pierce High School. Came into the game as a pinch hitter last inning. Two and one the count. On the outside corner, 2-2. Gelly the runner at first, Harris at third. Runners on the corners for the Spartans with nobody out here in the seventh. 2-2 pitch coming up. Nate Arterburn waiting out on deck. Here's the pitch to Sledge. And he lifts it in the air, deep towards left field. Should be enough for Harris, who has good speed to tag. He does. He'll try to score. The throw is cut off. And it'll be a sacrifice fly for Sledge, who I believe picks up the first RBI of his collegiate career. Nope. Yeah, that is. So congratulations to Sledge, who gets the sac fly there. Gelly stays at first. It's now 8-2. And now Nate Arterburn will be the batter. Throw down to first, not in time. Down and away there. And the count goes to 1-0. The Spartans breaking this one open late. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Fouled off, 1-2. Well, a cold day here at Nobby's ballpark, but that hasn't deterred the Spartans. Is that one stabbed by the pitcher, throw to second, not in time, on to first, not in time. And that's going to be a pair of errors to allow both runners to be safe. So we'll take another look at that, but that's going to be an error on the throw by the pitcher. And it'll be second and third now with one away in the inning still. So 2 errors on that play, 3 in the game now for Oswego State. And back to the top of the order now for James O'Connor, who takes that one for a ball, 1-0. Swing and a miss at the slider there, and it's an 0-1 count. 1-1 count, excuse me. Infield pulled in here for Oswego State with runners at second and third and one away. And O'Connor lifts that one. And making the catch along the right field line is Harrington. Both runners will tag. And coming in to score is Gelly. So a sacrifice fly for O'Connor. Another RBI for him as well. Both runners move up. It'll go as an unearned run. And we'll get a pinch hitter here. Tucker Greer to the plate. So Greer will make his debut coming in for Eli Westrick with a runner at third and 2 away. It's now 9-2. And we'll get a meeting on the mound. I don't know if we'll get a pitching change just yet. And we will, in fact, get a pitching change. So we'll take a break, come back to you in just a second. Spartans leading 9-2, 2 outs in the 7th when we come back. Welcome back. It's Case Western Reserve leading 9-2. New pitcher on the mound for Oswego State is number 7, Aiden Kerr, the junior righty. 5'11", 175-pound pitcher out of Syracuse, New York, West Hill High School. Facing the first-year player Tucker Greer, making his debut for the Spartans as that one pops out of the catcher's glove, and coming in to score is Nate Arterburn on a pass ball, an unearned run. And it's now 10-2, Spartans leading as the count goes to 1-0 on Greer at the plate. Base is empty now with 2 away. Kerr made 6 appearances last year, 1-0 with a 4.82 ERA, 9 1/3 innings, 8 strikeouts, 5 walks. Hard hit ground ball through for a base hit. Greer will head towards second, big turn, and he'll get in safely as that ball just died in the grass. And his first collegiate at bat, Tucker Greer with a double down the right field line. He'll be standing at second now with Tyler Stilson coming to the plate in an RBI opportunity. Stilson 1 for 3 with a walk and an RBI single today, hitting at .636 on the year. First pitch to Stilson. And a big swing fouls it off its own 1. In the dirt, 1-1. One on the way. In the dirt, 2-1. Ten to 2, Spartans leading, opening weekend of the season and looking for the clean sweep. In the dirt to Stilson, and it goes to 3-1. Tyler will have a chance here to pin back his ears and take a rip at a pitch in the strike zone if he so chooses. Here's a 3-1. And he does take a rip at one, fouls it off. On the outside corner, called strike 3. Stilson goes down looking. And that was a perfect pitch right on the black there. And we'll move to the 8th inning. The Spartans add on 3 more. It's 10-2 when we come back. New pitcher on the mound for the Spartans is going to be Oliver Miller, who makes his season debut. First pitch on the way from Miller to Winchester in there for a called strike at 85. Miller coming off a great first year for the Spartans last season. Down and out, and it's 1-1. Now the 1-1 on the way. Fouled off, 1-2. Miller, the sophomore righty out of Lorton, Virginia, St. Stephen St. Agnes High School. 3 wins, 2 losses last year and 15 appearances for him, including 1 save. He had an ERA of 3.90. Breaks that one right in there for a called strike 3, and Oliver Miller gets his season started with a big K. So Winchester retired, the 3-hitter for Oswego, and that'll bring up their cleanup hitter. Although we may get a pinch hitter here. Indeed, we will. This will be Jackson Mayo coming to the plate. So Mayo will pinch hit for Silverman. I think we saw Mayo yesterday. In fact, we did. Mayo going 0 for 1 in yesterday's game off the bench. Off the plate for ball 1 to Mayo, and it's in 1-0 count. Miller last season threw 32 1/3 innings. Allowed just 26 hits, a .226 batting average. Inside ball 2, 2-0. He allowed 15 runs, all but one of them earned. Struck out 35, walked 17. Again, a .226 opponent's average. If Miller can get those walks down just a little bit this year, he has a chance to really be an impactful arm in the back of the bullpen for Case Western Reserve. I'm not sure, and my guess is no, but I'm not sure if Coach Englander has designated a closer for this team. I think he's got a couple guys he would trust in that scenario, and Miller probably one of them. Obviously, the last few years, the Spartans have had the advantage of having Jack Anderson, who not only caught almost every game, but also could come in and close games out the last 2 seasons. 3-1 for Miller. For that, Tyler Horvath as a swing and a miss. 86 on the black. Cutter. Fastball, just a fastball with some spin to it. Big swing there for Mayo as he came up empty, and it's full count, 3-2. Whatever you just threw, throw it again, Ollie. That's the breaking ball up high. And the slider misses for ball 4. So after the strikeout to start the inning, a walk puts a runner on. And now Dylan Rosenberg will be the batter. One out and a runner on. Mayo takes the lead at first. Inside ball 1. Two and 0. Anton Sabo up in the bullpen. And my guess is we'll see an inning here for Miller and then an inning of Sabo in the 9th. And I think we're going to get a timeout call by the batter at the plate. Ground ball through the right side, base hit. Mayo moves up to second, stops there. Think down 8 in the 8th with 5 more outs to work with as Dempsey steps up. Came into the game as a pinch hitter, stays in as the designated hitter. Think running out of outs, very content as that ball cranked deep but foul. Down the left field line, opposite field there for Dempsey. Now the 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Down low, ball 1, 1-2. Again, not an easy day to pitch out there today. Spartan pitching, though, doing good this weekend and a real promising start for this team. That one gets away. Both runners will move up on a wild pitch. One of those moments for Oliver where it's a little tricky because he's used to pitching in some more high leverage situations. So he just has to maintain focus here. Is that one grounded towards the pitcher? Nice grab by Miller. Flip over to first in time to get the out. The run will come in to score. But that'll be the second out of the inning. Rosenberg to third. Mayo comes across. It's an RBI. Makes it a 10-3 game. Chopper foul. Ryan Mayer, the batter, looking for his first hit. One and one. Two and one. Down and in, 3 and 1. Here's a 3-1 offering for Miller. Foul back, full count, 3 and 2. Three and two, 2 away. Miller comes set, full count, payoff pitch coming. Fastball in there, a called strike 3. That was right on that lower inside part of the plate, and a perfect pitch for Miller there. Gets Mayer looking, and that'll get us through the inning. A run on a hit for Oswego, but we'll move along into the bottom of the 8th. Case Western Reserve a 7-run lead, 10-3 the score. We'll be back in just a minute.
Up to bat, number 35, Cole White.
Cole White making his collegiate debut at the plate, facing Kerr on the mound, and he swings and misses. Count goes full, 3-2. A plethora of changes here that we were sorting out in between innings. Cole White, number 35, 6'3", right-handed outfielder, freshman out of Collegeville, Pennsylvania. The Hills School awaits the payoff pitch. Swing on, live drive, and that's into center field for a base hit. So Cole White gets a hit in his first collegiate at bat. We've seen a bunch of those first collegiate hits this weekend. Great to see for the Spartans. And now Colin Poole will be the batter. Poole has had a nice opening weekend. He's hitting at .375. First pitch. And muscled foul and out of play, 0-1. Oh, and 2 now the count as that one clips the outside corner to Poole. Oh, a nice day for Colin Poole, 2 for 4, 2 RBIs. Has a double as well. Swing and a miss there, though, and that'll be strike 3. So 1 gone here in the 8th, and the batter now will be Josiah Harris.
Up to bat, number 1, Josiah Harris.
Outside for a ball. It's 1-0. In the dirt, 2-0. Harris today, 1 for 2, 2 walks, a stolen base, an RBI as well, and a run scored. Nice day for Josiah, who's off to a great start to the year, batting at .400 so far. That fastball catches the inside corner. 2-1 the count. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Hit hard, but right at the third baseman. Drop, throw to second for one, back on to first, and in time. 5-4-3 double play turned. It looked for a second, and I got to watch the replay here, like Josiah may have stopped when the third baseman initially caught the ball, and that might have cost him a chance to be safe there first. But either way, the Spartans will carry a 7-run lead into the top of the 9th. New pitcher coming out as well. We'll give you some more information on that when we return. New pitcher on the mound for the Spartans to try to close this one out will be Anton Sabo. Sabo, one of 2 Minnesotans on the team along with Jackson Knutson. Sabo from Falcon Heights, Minnesota. 6'4", lefty sophomore out of, again, Falcon Heights, Minnesota, Roseville area high school. Last year, he appeared in 8 games in relief, went 2-0 with a 6.17 ERA. 11 2/3 inning of work. He gave up 15 hits, a .313 opponent's average, allowed 10 runs, 8 of those earned. Struck out 10 and walked 6. This will be Ben Rollison to lead things off here. Rollison batting at .143 on the season. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts in the game today. And Sabo on the hill trying to close this one out. First pitch from Anton on the way. The lefty rocks and delivers. Up high for a ball, 1-0. A little cold weather baseball shouldn't be an issue for Anton. That one's outside for a ball, 2-0. Well, the Spartans 3 outs away from opening the season 3-0. Sabo trying to deliver that. Swing and a miss. 87-mile-an-hour fastball from the tall southpaw. Count goes to 2-1. Well located there, too. 2-1. Fouled off, 2-2. Spartans looking for the 3-0 start. They'll try to keep it going next weekend when the team heads again to Washington, Pennsylvania. Followed by a midweek game against Oberlin, although we'll see. You never know. Northeastern Ohio in early March. Never know what you'll get as Sabo delivers the 86-mile-an-hour fastball right on the black for a called strike 3. That is the 10th strikeout of the game, as Harry Uvena will be the batter here after coming in last inning as a defensive replacement. Uvena looking for his first hit of his career, the lefty-lefty matchup as Sabo rocks and delivers. And takes it down low for a ball, 1-0. 10-3 the score, 10 runs, 13 hits, 3 errors for the Spartans, 3 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors today for Oswego. Breaking ball misses there. 2-0. Popped high, foul territory. Gelly giving a chase, but that'll get out of play. Lands off the top of the Spartans' dugout as the count goes to 2-1. Well, Sabo fell behind 2-2. The first batter he faced, Rollison, and then battled back, got a foul ball, and then 2 called strikes. 3-1 now the count. And that'll be ball 4. So Uvena draws the walk. He'll be on. And this will be Emil Sander who will be the hitter. One count on Sanders, swing and a miss, 0-2. And a called strike 3 on the inside corner, and Sander down looking. So second strikeout of the inning, sandwiched around a walk. And Sabo a chance to end it here with Rowan Rowe coming to the plate. Rowe came in last inning to play third. And gets his first at bat of the day. First pitch, breaking ball. In there for a strike, it's 0-1. At the knees, called strike. And the Spartans now a strike away with 2 away in the ninth. The runner at first, 10-3 the score. And looking to make it the clean sweep to start the year. Rowe waits the pitch. Sabo comes set up right now from the stretch. The 0-2. Runner goes. The pitch is misses. The throw down hits the runner. Pitch was low, and I think Sabo and everyone might have thought they had a called strike 3. Instead, it was low, at least according to TrackMan, and no one went to cover the bag. Well, after what's been a pretty good weekend for the Spartans, I think now you could, maybe Coach Illinger can kind of get on the team a little bit to make sure they're staying awake in these situations, as it seemed like a little bit of mayhem there. Now another 1-2. Swung on, grounded softly, third base. Gelly has it, comes up throwing, throw to first is low, scooped though by Stilson, and he makes the play for the out, and that will do it. The Spartans, with a 10-3 win, clinch a sweep of Oswego State here in their season opening series. Again, they win all 3 games, a doubleheader yesterday, single game today, in case Western Reserve will stand at 3-0 following their first weekend of baseball with a new look team in 2026. Oswego State drops to 0-3. Case Western Reserve 3-0. Winning pitcher today is the starter, Charlie Griffith. He's 1-0 on the year. No save in today's game. Losing pitcher was the starter, Owen Hoyt. He is 0-1 on the season. Game lasted 3 hours and 19 minutes. Attendance at the ballpark. Attendance at the ballpark today was 135. And the Spartans, with the win today, looking good to start the year. We'll be back with you in about a week and a half, scheduled at least on Wednesday the 4th, when the team returns home to take on Oberlin. Once again, for everyone here, I'm John Schwartz. Thank you for tuning in today, and we will see you in a couple weeks or a week and a half for the Spartans' next home game. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone, and have a great rest of your day. Final score, once again, 10-3, Spartans with the win.